Good morning. Today I am making cranberry bread. I found this recipe on the back of the Ocean Spray cranberry bag. I had never tried it before. It's right here. Cranberry bread. So that's what we're making this morning. So the ingredients are flour, sugar, baking powder, salt, baking soda, orange juice, vegetable oil. It calls for grated orange peel. I'm not going to do that because I don't have any oranges. 1 egg, the Ocean Spray cranberries, and then 1/2 cup chopped nuts. So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to rinse off my cranberries, and I'm going to do that over here in the sink. Let those drain for just a minute. Okay. Now we can mix up our other stuff. I've got 2 bowls. I'm going to do one for the wet ingredients, one for the dry. We need 2 cups of flour. Have my flour in my big jar here. I'm using my 1/2 cup, so that's why I'm doing it 4 times. Oh, that's 2 cups of flour? Oh. Okay, well that's all right. Whatever. 1 cup of sugar. Oh, forgot to put my apron on. I'm getting stuff on me. Let's see, 1½ teaspoons of baking powder. So here's my baking powder. Forgot to open it. It's a new one. So 1½ teaspoons. All right. Then let's see, 1 teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of baking soda. All right. Okay, so that's all the dry ingredients. So I'm going to mix it up now. You always want to mix your dry ingredients before you add them to the wet. You want to make sure your sugar, your salt, your baking powder, and baking soda is distributed. You don't want pockets of any of them. So you want to make sure you mix your dry ingredients very well before you add the wet ingredients. All right, so that is mixed. Very good. Now what I do is I mix the wet ingredients in a separate bowl. So the wet ingredients start with 3/4 cup of orange juice. I put it in a jar because my son loves to drink orange juice. And if I didn't do this, it wouldn't be saved because he drinks orange juice pretty frequently, so it's gone very fast. So if I don't get what I need, it's gone. Okay, so we got the orange juice, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, oil right there. Oh, and I also have the oven already preheated to 350, and I have my baking pan right here. It's a 9 by 9, I believe. Yeah, oh, 9 by 5 inch loaf pan. Yes. Hi. Yeah, mommy's making food. Okay, 1 egg beaten. Bring it here, yes, and I'll get you some water.
Egg?
1 egg. 1 egg. Yep. Hang on just a minute. Get you some water. Excuse me. There you go. Okay. Alright, so we're going to beat the egg, the orange juice, the oil. That's pretty much all the liquid. If you want to use the orange peel, you can, but I'm not going to because I don't have any oranges. I thought I had everything I needed. Okay, now 1.5 cups of the cranberries. Now what I do after I rinse them, it says to have them coarsely chopped. I just throw mine in the blender. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so I went through and I sorted through the cranberries after I rinsed them. You want to make sure you pull out any cranberries that look yucky. So I did that, and now I'm going to, it says 1.5 cups. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in my blender that's right over here and chop them. So it's 1.5 cups of fresh cranberries, or you can do frozen too. But I'm doing the fresh. So that is 1.5 cups. And I put it in the blender. And I just do chop or pulse. Actually, I'm going to pulse. So you just want them chopped up a little bit. There we go. All right. All right. So yeah, you have your oven to 350 degrees, mix together, yeah, in a medium bowl, stir in orange juice, oil, orange peel, and egg, mix until, okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna set the cranberries over here for just a minute. We're gonna go ahead and add in the orange juice, the egg, and the oil into the flour mixture. Set that aside. We're going to mix that up. So you're going to mix this until well blended. That's what the recipe says. We're looking good. I forgot, let's see, for nuts, I'm using half walnuts, half almonds. I love both of those, so I thought I'd use both because I couldn't decide which one I wanted more. I also throw those in my blender and chop them just a little bit so they're not too big. Okay, so stir in the cranberries and nuts. All right, so we're gonna get my spatula. And as you can see, the cranberries are, some of them are in small pieces, some of them are still whole. That's the way you want them. You want just enough, but not too much. Well, at least that's how I like them. I don't like them whole, but I don't want them so small that you still want a burst of flavor in the loaf. when you take a bite. You know, I love cranberries because they're tart, and you just add them to stuff and it's just, oh, it's a burst of flavor. I just love it. So you try to get all of it. Sometimes it's hard to get out of the bottom of it, but you just do your best. It's fine. All right. Go ahead and mix in just a little bit, and then I'm going to add the nuts. I do have to rinse out my blender real quick. Okay, I've got my blender rinsed out. Now we're going to do the nuts. And it says half a cup chopped nuts. So as I said, I've got some slivered almonds and I've got some walnuts. So I'm going to do just half a cup, measure out. I love almonds and walnuts, so that's why I'm doing both. So I just put them in my blender and I'm going to chop them that way. Actually, got to rinse out the lid. Hang on. And you do want to dry the blender and the lid after you rinse. If you don't already know that, just so stuff doesn't stick. You don't want your ingredients sticking to it. It's harder to get out. So you want to make sure everything's dry before you blend. You probably already know that, but just in case. Just in case we have some first-time bakers out there. Okay. There we go. And just chop. Just a little bit. We're going to add the nuts. And these came out pretty good. All right. Now we stir everything together. Oh, this is looking very good, right? Excuse me, stir in the cranberries and nuts. Yep, okay. Oh my goodness, guys, this is looking really good. Check that out. Yes. And I used white whole wheat flour. I was going to use half and half, but you can use any flour you want. Well, not any flour, I guess, but I just prefer the white whole wheat. So it has more nutrients in it, better for you. But most of the time I do half and half. I do 1 cup of the white whole wheat flour and then 1 cup of the all-purpose flour. But I got ahead of myself and just kept going, so that didn't happen. All right, so you're going to spray your loaf pan so your stuff doesn't stick. And then I'll put it in. Hope you can see what I'm doing. Hang on. This makes a lot. Yes, go ahead. But don't put it up here. No, mommy's cooking, okay? So I just make sure the bowl is cleaned out. This is looking very good. The oven's nice and hot. So we're ready to go in. Okay, I think that's good. And I just kind of even it out so there's not a lump in the middle, just so it's flat. It'll help it cook better, evenly. And then just for decoration, I like to sprinkle oats, old-fashioned oats on top, just to make it look pretty. Just for pretty. It's not called for in the recipe, so. But I do that to most all my breads. Okay, so now bake for 55 minutes. All right. Going in the oven. Set the timer. and we'll see it when it's done. These are the cranberries that I had left over. So I just put them in a baggie. They're already washed. You can actually throw these in the freezer and save them. They last very well in the freezer, or you can put them in the fridge until you're ready, if you're ready to use them soon. So that's just a side note. This was a 12 ounce bag of Ocean Spray cranberries. So the recipe calls for 1.5. So this is what's left over. So anyway, just a side note. Okay, so I am still waiting for the cranberry bread to finish baking. Went ahead and hopped in the shower and got cleaned up because I had taken the kids to school and came back, and so I wanted to go ahead and bake the bread because my dad is coming over. Usually comes over every Thursday, and we just hang out. Sometimes we have coffee, sometimes we go out to lunch, but most of the time it's just getting together, catching up, and visiting. So he's probably going to be here shortly, so I wanted to go ahead and film this. So also, while I'm waiting for the bread to finish, by the way, that was a very quick, easy recipe. I haven't tried it before, so I'll have to let you know when it's done, you know, what it tastes like and everything, but really easy. It's on the back of the Ocean Spray cranberry bread, not bread, bag. So just go pick up some Ocean Spray cranberries, and there it is. I thought my phone was ringing. So I wanted to show you the progress on my sock. I got the heel done. I did switch to a different color. I've got stitch markers everywhere. I've still got some left of this, but I was afraid, because it's getting a little thin, I was afraid I was going to run out. And I didn't want to add this. I found this in my stash. But I didn't want to run out of this and then add this, because then it would be obvious that I ran out. So I decided to go ahead and add the purple in and use it until I run out, and then I'll go back to this if it works out. But these are going pretty well. I was a little nervous because the directions, I didn't quite understand them. So I just kind of went with it. But I think I did put it on my foot last night, and it's looking okay. Now at the top, as you can see, I did have to do some decreasing, not because the pattern said to, but because when I put it on, it was too loose on my leg. So I am doing the size large, although I could do the medium, but because this is my first try, I wanted to do the large just to make sure that it would fit. I don't want to make a sock and then not have it even fit my foot with all the time I'm putting into it. So anyway, so it was, yeah, too loose on my leg, so I did some decreasing, and then so that's why it looks a little lumpy up there. But and I haven't weaved in my ends. But anyway, so then I tried it on again, and this fits my leg, my ankle pretty well. So I think it's gonna be good. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish the foot and then do the toe, and then it's done. So yeah, so far it's going pretty good. I was a little nervous last night, but I think it's gonna be okay. And this is just a basic sock pattern, basic. Since this is my first try, I didn't want to try anything crazy. So anyway, I'm gonna be working on that, and I think I'm gonna grab a cup of coffee. So I will see you soon.